Hi dear fans, friends and subscribers. Welcome to the cricket show. Yes, the throat is still not kind on me, but my cricket show will rage on. Well, as far as this cricket show is concerned, well, I would say today was the first day of the Ashes Test Series, which started at Cardiff in Glamorgan. And well, right now I can tell you that Australia definitely had the better half. I mean, the first half was something which really belonged to Australia, as they snapped up 3 wickets before lunch, so they had a good start. But right now, while I'm talking to you, the Mr. Reliable, as I've always been telling, that this person to me is the Mr. Reliable of English cricket, with some great consistency that he has scored. Yes, this bloke definitely missed. We know that he is one of those wonderful talents to emerge from the English shores, and he was one who really missed his century against New Zealand, as you would all remember. And the man that I'm talking about is none other than that very talented and a very youthful Joe Root, who right now, while I'm talking to you, has really grabbed the initiative from Australia and has England sitting at 244 for 4. And what a start for England. I mean, getting a century in the first day of this investec Ashes Test Series here, and that should be a proud moment for him. This bloke right now is not out on 121. Joe Root not out 121. He had 17 boundaries embedded into it. Some beautiful front foot drives of the bowlers, and Ben Stokes is giving him company, not out on 24. He has been pretty aggressive on the Australian bowlers. He has 24 of 31 deliveries, in which he has 2 fours and 2 sixes. And as far as the sixes were concerned, he right now, while I was talking to you, he smote Nathan Lyon, the Ramos spinner, and launched him over his head for a six. And before that, he also hit another six of another bowler. So right now, while I'm talking to you, Stokes is looking good. He has taken his score to 28. As I'm talking to you, Nathan Lyon has been stroked for another boundary by Ben Stokes, and Ben Stokes is looking pretty good here. So 248 for 4. I mean, what a recovery. First they recovered through a partnership of 153 runs for the third wicket between Gary Ballon 61 and Joe Root, and now there's another partnership which has already started building and is also going on in some aggressive fashion here, because they have already added, Joe Root and Ben Stokes has already added 52 runs in 10.3 overs. That's going at a very good clip considering it's a test match, and England are right now placed at 248 for 4. And this is something that I'm definitely going to talk about. I'm going to tell you what really happened, but while I'm talking to you, there are another 26 overs remaining to actually end the first day's play in the investec Ashes Test Series. So that is one thing. And also one more good thing, or one more thing that is going to happen is something very good for international cricket. As we all know, the World 2020 qualifiers are going to start. As you know, the World T20 tournament, this year's the World T20 tournament is going to be held in 2016 in India in the month of March. And today, 14 associate teams will be trying to really outplay each other, as 14 associate teams will be vying for the World 2020 qualifier, which is starting in Ireland and Scotland. And out of that, there'll be 8 teams which will be going to the World Cup. In fact, 6 teams. I'm sorry about that. 14 associates are vying for 6 World T20 spots. So basically, there are 6 associate nation spots available. So whichever team actually finishes on the top 6 in this World 2020 qualifier, which is starting in Ireland and Scotland, that's tomorrow on Thursday, will be competing in the World T20 tournament in India in 2016. And as you all know, the T20 tournament now, from being like a biennial event, now it is going to be a 4-year event, like the one-day international World Cup, the 50 overs World Cup. So the 2020, now the next World Cup, World T20 will be played only in 2020. Now the other thing is that we also know there was a lot of talk going on as the teams were trimmed, as you know, from 16 to 14 teams. Last time, as you know, the qualifiers were held in the United Arab Emirates, where there were 16 teams competing, and now that has been pruned down to 14. So that is so as I said, these are the teams which are vying for the 6 spots in the World T20 Championship, Championship, which will be starting in March in India. Well, so I won't be having a look at the teams, but I will generally be talking about it. So I'll come back to that but later. But first and foremost, let's see what happened here on the first day of this Investec Test Ashes series between England and Australia. And let's go on to the full story here from your host, Mr. Ram. Well, as it was England actually who were the ones who actually won the toss on a pitch which did not have much in for the pace bowlers, I thought. But one thing that we saw is that the pitch was a bit slow to bat on, and well, it was England who actually batted first, with Adam Lith and Alistair Cook opening the innings. Well, Adam Lith definitely played one confident stroke for boundary as he clipped Joe Hazlewood off his pads for a boundary. But Joe Hazlewood, in the next ball, he actually squared Adam Lith up, and Adam Lith up was gone as he had actually squared up, and that ended in a catch to David Warner at gully, and Adam Lith was gone for 6 with 1-4. So 7 for 1 England at that stage as Gary Ballance joined Alistair Cook. Now Alistair Cook and Gary Ballance slowly pushed on the score from that time on. They had to be a bit watchful with Mitchell Starc bowling superbly, some good in-dippers from Mitchell Starc, Mitchell Johnson, but we definitely saw that pace was not something that the pitch had. The pitch did not have that much pace. I mean, the ball was not coming very quickly onto the bat. The ball was really slowing down. It was a slower pitch, and then finally with the pace bowlers not able to make much of an impression, not a big impression I would say, Michael Clarke, the Australian captain, decided to see whether there is any spin in this, and that's what he precisely did. He brought in Nathan Lyon into the attack, and Alistair Cook, as we all know, he plays the cut shot pretty well. But today, Nathan Lyon was the man who gave them their second breakthrough here, as Nathan Lyon saw to it that he would get Alistair Cook's wickets. Alistair Cook, going for his favourite shot, the cut shot, was consumed by Haddin behind the stumps of the bowling of Lyon for 20 with 3 boundaries, which made the score 42 for 2. And Ian Bell, who has been struggling as when New Zealand came to England, as you would all know, and today once again his struggle continued as Mitchell Starc, as I said, was bowling some very good in-swingers, and this was a deep in-swinger which had Bell trapped in front as Bell was walking. LBW bowled Starc for 1, and that was the alarm bells ringing for England with the score reading 43 for 3. And it was a matter of real survival for England till lunchtime when it was 2 new batsmen at the crease. I mean, Gary Ballance was along with Joe Root, and Joe Root also led a very charmed life. In fact, he could have been out initially itself, but he was grasped by Brad Haddin behind the stumps, and then finally that proved very costly. So as I said, England had to really survive till lunchtime, which they duly did. But after lunch, we saw that England had to still be very cautious. They did that precisely by grinding the Australian bowling, and then slowly, when the ball got older, we definitely saw some strokes coming out from the bats of Joe Root. As I said, he was playing some great shots in front of the wicket, and he was driving superbly. And Joe Root was really he really started getting better and better as the play went by. And Gary Ballance was severely tested by some short stuff by Mitchell Johnson, and he stood the test well. And Gary Ballance, as we know, is a very good test player, has a fantastic test record, as you all know. And he and Gary Ballance and Joe Root slowly started nurturing the innings, and what a partnership that was, with Joe Root definitely dominating that partnership of 153, as Joe Root was really flowing in with his strokes. On the other end, Gary Ballance, even though living a bit dangerously, but still managed to chisel together a good partnership along with Joe Root, and the partnership had reached 153 with all the hard work done. They had taken England to, the second session for England had gone without losing a wicket, and at that time Gary Ballance had reached 61. But then after tea, it was Hazlewood who struck a blow when he had Gary Ballance trying to flick a delivery from Josh Hazlewood, but unfortunately was not able to time it, not able to get the bat onto it, and he found himself to be trapped in front as Hazelwood got his second wicket, and Balance was walking after making 61 with 8 boundaries. That left Joe Root, who was, as I said, stroking the ball to a nicety as he was joined in by Ben Stokes. Once Ben Stokes arrived, we saw that Joe Root went on to his century, and this was his second Ashes Test century, as he was, as I said, he was really flowing. He had absolutely no problems. As I said, I've already called him the Mr. Reliable of English cricket, and he's only proving it time and again as Joe Root really got into his element. And as I'm speaking now, this partnership is yielding rich dividends for England, because after putting on a good partnership of 153 after Balance departed, now once again this partnership is also really moving along pretty well, as 55 runs has already been added, with Joe Root onto a century on the first day of this Investec Ashes Test series. He's unconquered on 124 with 17 beautifully timed boundaries, and Ben Stokes has been his own aggressive self today after smiting Nathan Lyon for a 6 into the stands, and also I thought he hit Mitchell Johnson for a 6, and right now I see that Ben Stokes is giving him superb company. Not out on 28 with 3 4s and 2 6s. He's playing in typical one-day mode here, and England, I thought, have really recovered pretty well here, and they are right now placed at 248 for 4, sorry, 251 for 4, and they are looking well entrenched with this particular batting pair, and also a lot of batting still to come in the form of Josh Buttler, Moeen Ali, the lower order batsman. We know he has a century to his credit too in Test matches, and then we have the all-rounders, Stuart Broad, Mark Wood could bat, and James Anderson also, no rabbit with the bat. And so there's still a lot of things to go, and as I said, the pitch is playing a bit slow. And looking at the bowling here from the Australians, Mitchell Starc, 14.3 overs, 3 maidens, 1 for 61, has been using his Yorkers very well, and he has been also getting this in-swingers going, which is pretty good to say. Josh Hazelwood absolutely on the money, 17 overs, 5 maidens, 57 runs and 2 wickets. Mitchell Johnson has been a bit off colour today, especially considering the pitch has slowed down, and as you know, Johnson was the nemesis of the last Ashes Test series when Australia blanked England. But right now, Mitchell Johnson has really struggled on this slow pitch here. 15 overs, 1 maiden, none for 69. Nathan Lyon has done his job. He picked up this most important wicket of Alistair Cook, the stonewaller for England. 14 overs, 4 maidens, 1 for 39. Shane Watson has bowled 5 overs, in which he has given away 15 runs. So right now, as I'm talking to you, the score, I'll try to take you live to the ground to give you the latest cricket update before I actually leave this cricket show. I'm trying to see what exactly I will, before going, I'll definitely be giving you some live updates before I leave the scene here, but let me also see what exactly is happening while I'm talking to you. The score has moved on by another 2 runs, 250 for 4. Ben Stokes 28 not out. Joe Root 126 with 17 beautifully timed boundaries. And now I'm just shifting the focus here. As I said, the World T20 tournament will be starting in 2016, which is going to be played in India. And as you know, the world, so to qualify, there are 6 associate spots which are vacant to qualify for the World T20 qualifying in India in 2016. And for 18 days, we are going to have a 15-match event, which is known as the ICC World 2020 qualifiers. This is going to be played in Ireland and Scotland. There's going to be 14 teams who are going to be competing in this event, and they would like to, there will be 6 teams which will be trying to book the ticket to the World T20 tournament in 2016. Because the 6 teams should be eager to do that, and the reason being that the World T20 tournament is going to become a 4-year tournament now. Previously, we saw in every 2 years we had a T20 World Cup, but now that has changed. The ICC has made it a 4-year tournament, like the 50-over World Cup. So definitely all the teams would be vying for that 6 spots there to qualify for the T20 World Cup. Now, as far as this this is concerned, the top 4 from each group will advance to the playoffs. Then we'll have the semi-finals, and then we have the finals to qualify for the main event in India. And well, as far as the Group A is concerned, It consists of Ireland. Ireland, as you know, they are definitely the favorites. There is no doubt about it that Ireland are the favorites for this tournament, because they are ones who are a very, very strong team, as we all know. So there's Ireland, there is Papua New Guinea, there is Namibia, there is Hong Kong. I'm just going to talk about, I'm not going to talk in any detail, but I'm just going to briefly touch on the teams that are competing. But as far as Group A is concerned, they have Ireland, they have Hong Kong, they have Ireland, Hong Kong. Hong Kong is a good team, improved team, I would say. And then they have Nepal. Nepal, as you know, are coming off into some very, very natural disaster that they had with the earthquake. So Nepal is another team that to look out for. Papua New Guinea is having a newfound confidence, a newfound whatever you call it. They are looking pretty bubbly, I would say. Namibia has also been doing a pretty good job. United States of America, even though they don't have Stephen Taylor, who was withdrawn, and then they have Jersey, are making their debut for the first time. So that will be pretty interesting. And then the Team B. Team B will consist of Afghanistan, Scotland, then we'll have some other teams in that. But I'm not going to go into that, unfortunately, due to lack of time today. Hope you all understand. And I'm going to leave you, dear fans and subscribers, with this live cricket update here, coming in from the first test match on the first day's play. As I said, another 23 overs remaining to close of play on the first day of this investec Ashes Test series, where England are sitting pretty, I would say, 257 for 4. The partnership for the 5th wicket has already added 61 runs in 13.3 overs. Joe Root is well entrenched at the crease, batting on 126 with 17 delectably hit boundaries, and Ben Stokes is in his aggressive vein. He's not out on 32 or 41 balls with 4 fours and 2 sixes. And that really sums up my cricket happening show for today with this live cricket update from Cardiff. Hope you all enjoyed this cricket show as much as I did, and I will be seeing you all tomorrow. Until then, it's goodbye from your host Ram. Thank you.